Welcome to the Magical Medicals podcast. I'm your host, Buddy Abrahams.
And I'm Terry Allen.
A show about the moments that changed people's lives forever.
Hi everyone, we're happy to have my dear friend, Chamuel of Light, that I've known for a very long time from Dubai, who has now graciously offered to come here on the Magic of Miracles podcast to share his own story and his own journey. Chamuel is from Lebanon, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, correct. He's a Reiki master, yoga teacher, works with the angelic realm, color therapy and sound healing, and still is residing in Dubai. So thank you, Chamuel, for being with us. And it's lovely to see you again after all these years. And we're going to tell people how we met. And I'm going to let you tell people how we connected through the angelic realm, really. And you ended up on my doorstep in Dubai when I lived there. And so thank you for being here. It's lovely to see you. You look wonderful. And all yours, man.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to everybody. It's an honor and a pleasure. And first of all, I would like to thank you for being a lead by example from my heart. You are a lead by example for all the world out there to be the miracle, to appreciate themselves as a miracle, so that we are breathing the breath of life, witnessing, feeling, honoring the miracles. And that is how I know you. So thank you for being that lead by example.
Thank you, darling. Well, if you want to would you like to tell people how we met? Because it was obviously coming through your dream.
Sure. First of all, how we met. As a flight attendant for years and years, I did abundance of energy modalities, and I still am learning as much as I can. I saw you in a dream with a beautiful ponytail that you are famous for in reality. Yeah. And I met a lot of people before you, and that is from my heart, but we didn't connect. We didn't energetically connect.
Yeah.
And the minute you opened the door for me, I remember that day clearly when I took your permission to receive a hug. And that was that. And what I saw in the dream is you. That is how every single modality that I've done with both of you, it resonated from my heart.
But was you putting out to the universe that you wanted to learn
for sure,
angels and
for
Reiki
sure,
and everything?
For sure. It started first.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, darling.
It started with my grandmother. She herself was a light worker in the Civil War. When I was born as 4 years old, I was her first child. So she made sure she took me along. I was the first in her family, mommy's side. I witnessed her channeling the divine realm, receiving divine messages, divine intervention. As a child, honestly, I never knew what is the divine, what are the angels, who are the beings of light. All what I remember in the Civil War, she would take my hand and she would tell me word by word, remember that you will grow up and you will be tested. You will meet a lot of people and a lot of beings. All what you have to do is forgive, love, and be the light that you already are. That's how my journey started.
Yeah, and I always remember when you came to see me because you were coming to learn Reiki.
Yes, yeah.
And
I've done with you Reiki, crystals, angel intuitive clairvoyancy. I've done a few with both of you, but
yeah, you did. But just asking back, just trying to what year was that? Now was it that we met?
We started together like 2013, and we carried on till a few years. We kept meeting on and off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. And then when you were obviously in the dream, how did you actually find me? I don't think I ever thought about that. But when you had the dream, how did you find me?
Right. In reality, every time I did want to study something, even during my teenage life, I would say a prayer, connect to the divine, and I would go on Mr. Google. That's the honest story. So many things I have done, but it's always been when I connected, and even before I did the connection on the Google, that's when I saw you in a dream, because I've set the intention from my heart. People say God, universe, Christ consciousness, whatever beings of light out there, I set my intention. Yeah. I want to do this. I want to move on in life to be that light. I saw a beautiful lady in a ponytail, and she was smiling. And even later, after we met, I saw you with angels, if you remember. You were having wings, so much colored. And I did tell you that time, and you mentioned that we were telepathically connecting. Anyways, when I did the Google search and when I contacted you, the minute you opened the door, that was the lady I saw in my dream.
Yeah, that's lovely. So you're going to share maybe you've got more than one, but you can start with your, because we have no idea what you're going to share, because we don't like to hear everything. Even though we've been friends a long time, I don't know everything. But we like to also be very organic with the way it unfolds, and to really feel the story as well with you and be on the journey with you. And so
should we start with your name, because at the time I knew you as Chamuel, and now it's Chamuel.
My real name is Chamuel. Yes, correct. Yes.
Okay. Do you want to explain to us the whole divine story behind the name change?
Sure. Would you like me to start from the beginning as a child, or the name and back to the beginning?
You decide.
You decide, yeah.
All right, fair enough. I'll start from my childhood. I'll try to be as brief as I can.
No, take your time.
I promise you. I promise you, being in the civil war in Lebanon, miracles after miracles after miracles that happened on my life and my family. As I mentioned, it started when I was a child. My grandmother used to teach me, used to train me a lot of times. By the age of 6 or 7, all what I remember, my parents would let me go. We had a room in the Civil War. I call it now prayer room, meditation room. I don't know at that time as a child. All I know, I would go inside and connect to the divine and pray and meditate till I have a presence of Mama Mary, Christ, till I have a feeling, whatever that feeling was. I never knew what it was as a child. By the age of 10, my parents would verbally ask me, can you please go to the room and meditate or say a prayer for our safety? That's how it started. By the age of, like it reached to a burden, physical burden at the time, because as a child, honestly, I don't know what's going on. All I know is I kept seeing beings of light. I kept seeing light. I kept feeling messages. I didn't even know what is a clairvoyant or what is the sixth sense. Till that time when my parents started to literally tell me, go in the room and do your prayers or your meditation. And here I want to remind that people in the universe, being kind is a prayer. Being forgiving is a prayer. Being peaceful, like how we met in the first place, this is a prayer. And that time, by the age of 14, 15, it was my first ever, as in ever, divine intervention. I saw myself in a dream in the mountain, and I kept following a light in the very dark forest. There was a cave. I entered the cave. Up to now, it's so vivid to me. And there was a monk wearing a black hood, and he had a candle in front of him. And he's turning his face on me, and I woke up with so much love. That was the beginning, because next day, my grandma told me verbally, welcome to the world of the divine. This is Saint Chamuel reaching out to you to carry your life with happiness and joy. That's how my journey started.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So your grandmother was extremely spiritually connected then. She obviously had a very sixth sense or heightened sense.
She lost my grandfather at the age very young. She had 6 children, including my mom. She was very young. She was a very poor lady, yet rich. Her pantry, but he will never go empty of food. We witnessed rice and wheat, whatever you call it, kept multiplying from nowhere. During the Civil War, by the way, if I'm quick, please tell me to slow down.
No, you're
Thank you. During the Civil War, my uncle was kidnapped and my neighbor was kidnapped. She went on her knees and she said, God, universe, Mama Mary, specifically bring my child back and I'm yours forever. I'm sad to say the whole people died except my uncle and the neighbor. Since that day, she left her earth life and she went as a cleaner in church till she died. She would go and clean and come back to take care of my mother, my other auntie. She wasn't married yet. My mom, by the age of 11, she had to work in a very dark place every day, passing the road. And she would tell me, because she's like my best friend, she had me when she was 17. She would tell me, Kamal, every night that I had to go with so much fear. And when she entered that area, she would literally see and feel the white light, which in her mind's eye, she figured out it's Mama Mary daily taking her from one place to other, because she had her young brother as well, and she had to look for his safety at the age of 11. That's how it all started.
And then how would you like to go on a little bit more after what happened after that? I mean, it was a great gift that your grandma passed on her wisdom and her knowledge, and it's a bit like me really with my grandmother. When she was bringing me up, instilled a lot of spiritual things, and I think it gives you a really good strong foundation. But and then what happened then after then?
By my late teens, I start seeing visions about things that they will happen to my family, like car accidents. The miracle started here, by the way, that I would see a member of my family having a car accident and I would be talking to my brother, but my heart will be his heart, and I'll be literally seeing that vision. And a week later, that brother had a fatal car accident, but nobody died. Same brother. I was one time on Christmas Day, I was connecting to Mama Mary some way, somehow, and I'm talking about the spirituality, not in form of prayers. And suddenly she started dripping water. Same second, Terry, same second, from the 7th floor in the university, they all fell down and nobody was given a scratch. It was so vivid and so strong that I had to really deeply pray and say, thank you, I cannot handle those visions. I'm not ready for them. Right. By probably the age of 21-ish, I applied to be a flight attendant to leave the Civil War area. Right. Dad wanted me to be a pilot in the Air Force. Can you believe that? Me as an Air Force?
No.
No. Dad was, bless his heart in heaven, very strong, typical Arab man who's after the regimental structure strategy. Respect for him, I applied, right? Luckily, the flight attendant job came before. And when I flew to Dubai, my name was accepted as an Air Force. And I said, Daddy, I love you, but I'm not coming back.
Wow.
I'm not coming back to do the Air Force, but I will come back for sure as a holiday. And when I started with the airline, that is how I knew I have a bigger mission. I kept seeing visions or dreams. There was one specific time, Terry, I saw my grandmother's church. I saw a big light above her, that place. I saw something in heaven, a voice saying, keep going. You have a bigger mission in life. We are with you. We are supporting you. We will never leave you alone. That's when I started.
Did you, because I always say that a lot of flight attendants are actually angels in the sky, you know, because they're helping so many people in so many areas. And obviously when I was in Dubai, a lot of my clients were from Emirates Airlines. And so I used to hear so many stories from them. And because you have everything on that flight. Did you use your skills? Did you use your
full on with humility?
You know, with people on the flight, you did.
Yeah, with humbleness, with humility, because when it comes to being a light worker or a being of light, we are to be humble, grounded, and humility. And I did use it full on with humbleness every time I met a depressed colleague or a sad colleague or even a client on board, and the management knows that about me very well. They would send me to a place and tell me, go, do your thing, whether it's a flight or something going on. Yes, day in, day out, I did my level best to help that person realize that she or he is a beautiful being of light. And I did my level best to lift them up, to build them up, because that is my purpose. And that is why I was born at the time. I knew some divine consciousness sent me as a flight attendant to be a part of the co-creation or collaborate healing, if you will.
So can we go back one step and understand how did the name Chamuel came about?
Yes. And after we met, by the way, at the stage, things are happening in my personal life. I never knew, by the way, all my life why I love pink. I never knew that. I never knew it's for Angel Chamuel, right?
Oh,
at the stage, my best friend, she wanted to conceive, my best friend ever, as in ever. She has twins now, by the way.
Oh.
So she tried left, right, and center, nothing. One day I'm dreaming, like lucid dreaming or whatever you call it. I saw a huge being of light with a pink halo or a pink color, and that being kept approaching me, almost giving me a hug. Something in my heart clicked and telepathically connected to me as Angel Chamuel. He showed me my best friend in hospital with a baby girl. He showed me the husband running up and down to do the paperwork, but I never felt about the other twin. So I didn't tell her, of course, in reality, because there are limits to what you can feel or say. Later on, she became pregnant with twins. So I did tell her. Things went on again. So I kept feeling and seeing a being with the same angel. When I knew my mission is going bigger, after we've done our modalities, I knew it's getting bigger and more responsibility. There was a very specific personal time, which I can't reveal it. All I remember is I went down on my knees and I said, I need help, Angel Chamuel. 2-3 days later, I have the photo somewhere I can later send you. I saw a piece of paper cut in a form of a wing on the carpet. I still have it, the photo and everything. I collected it. I didn't think of it. 3-4 days later, same thing appeared again. I collected it. Du or Etisalat called me at the time. I opened my diary. I found a letter I have written years back. Dear Angelic Realm, Angel Michael, Angel Gabriel, Angel Chamuel. And listen to this, the paper was unintentional with this color, pink and purple. With my handwriting, Angel Chamuel, I need you in my life. Show me my path and I'm all yours. When next day things happened in reality and I was able to go through it with what's going on, I said, that's it. From now on, I am Chamuel of light with permission of light.
Wow, that's an amazing story.
And Chamuel, Archangel Chamuel is a very soft, loving heart chakra. I mean, they're all from the heart, but a very delicate, powerful, but soft, loving angel. From one of the archangels, for anyone that's listening. And for me, Archangel Chamuel always comes with a presence of, it's full of love, but it's a feminine love.
It's beautiful.
You know, it's a very soft but powerful energy of love with it.
Yeah. At the time, I guess because of my sensitive personality, I am a very sensitive by person. I'm even so shy inside. What makes me go through knowing I have a mission ahead of me to help somebody find their life purpose. That is how Angel Chamuel appeared in my life. And I carried on passing the message.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And would you like to, so when you had that name change, did you find that anything energetically changed for you? Because a name change does carry an energy.
Yeah. It showed me a lot of path. It was clarity. Yes, I had more clarity. Yeah. Who am I as a person? What is my life purpose in life? Why am I born? What difference do I make to myself before others? So that shift enabled me to connect more to the angelic realm and to approach people with humbleness. Because I remember clearly when we met first time, you stopped the session and you told me, Kamal, I need you to ground. You cannot be always in the angelic realm. That was the first session we had together. Buddy had gone out to get something and I remember clearly, I felt the presence of angels around your windows. I felt a lot of fairies, and you caught me from this session, and that was Reiki 1 at a time.
Yeah.
Because, you said, come back to me, because by the way, all the assertiveness that you showed me, it is on. When it's needed to be on, it's full on. So that time you told me clearly, Kamal, I need you to be grounded, rooted. You cannot be floating all the time. So back to Angel Chamuel.
But because air stewards, people that flight attendants, they have, they're in the air a lot, so they have to learn how to ground. So normally they can be very ungrounded because they're in the air a lot.
Also because they're on different time zones
they're
as
on
well.
Different time zones, so they have to get that grounding and discipline and embodiment back down into themselves. And so if you're not, if you can easily float off as a person and you're flying on top of that, it's
that is why sometimes I still ask you for some guidance, if you will, some questions, and you always answer. That's what I love about you. Everybody who knows both of you in the world, you always answer them back. Always.
I think if you do the spiritual work, I think you have to be authentic and always reply and respond to everybody. I think it's something that's ingrained in me and in yourself. For me, I would always answer anyone as quickly as possible, even if I didn't know them. I think we're there to help one another, as you said.
Yeah.
So for me,
the shift that you mentioned after that, everywhere I go now, I own my mission. Whoever knows me as a person, I know I am a being of light, and everywhere I go, I know the angels go ahead of me. So when it comes to the negative energy, or a lot of times I don't even feel it anymore because it's been cleared.
Yeah.
Like I am aware that. That's when I do the courses or the workshops or one-on-one therapy. I always share with the person, know that you are made of light, accept that light, embrace that light, and say your command with confidence. If you're clearing a negative energy or, you have to say those commands with confidence and basically go into that room knowing that you are lifting those people and you are leaving them at a better place more than you found them.
And so when you changed the name and you embodied more of the energy of Archangel Chamuel, what other things do you feel unfolded for you that were, in that moment that we, like you said, you asked for help regarding something? That for our listeners who are listening and maybe having an issue or going through something and, want to know or listen through the story of how to work through or to know that you are divinely helped and guided.
Yes.
When is it that you called that in? When was there a moment that you thought, oh, something's not right here, I really need your help?
Thank you for reminding me for that, because the most miracle was in 2012. I lost my vision on my left eye.
Really? I never knew
that. Because it was something I'm going through, and probably the whole world will know it now. And that is why I mentioned earlier, you are a lead by example with that integrity, honesty, and transparency. And that is how I proceed. 2012. I lost my left vision with something called occlusion, retinal occlusion, central retinal occlusion. And you know that is not accepted as a flight attendant, right?
Right, yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
You will lose your license.
Yeah.
All I remember, Terry, because that's back to my grandma, back to my being that I know I'm taken care of. The doctor said, I can't mention names of hospitals because you know how it is.
Yeah.
The doctor said, your life is tough, but we'll work through it. There are limits, la la la. All what I remember, I went on my knees and I claimed the healing. I did not ask for healing. I went up there and I said, God, consciousness, Mama Mary, Christ, I know you are listening to me. I am receiving my healing in your name. 1 month, I have the documentation, even for the podcast in future. For anybody in the world who contact me, I still have the official legal documentation. 1 month, I got my license back. The profession, you know, in the Western medicine or the medicine in general, they don't really know much about holistic. It is logic, common sense, right? 1 month, I had my vision back fully, got my license. The hospital wanted me officially, and I will use the name legally, even though it's not allowed sometimes, to go on air and claim the miracle, because they wanted to use my case as how the faith, how the light, how you are combining them with the facts of life. How, of course, at the time as a crew member, I couldn't do that. So that story stayed with me and the airline. 1 month, I got my license back. And that was the shift back to you mentioned, even before we met, before I even changed to Chamuel of Light. I knew my life is not easy. And it's not pink all the time. But when I know in my heart, when we meet kind people like you, from my heart, both of you, the universe will always send in my path someone to say a word, to say a message. And in return, I will do my homework and shift somebody else's life. So yes, I got my vision back with a miracle, declared as a miracle.
Chamuel, what was important that you just said is claiming that healing, which is extremely important, because sometimes we pray out of need rather than saying that it's done already.
Do you want to repeat those words?
Do you want to just repeat
again?
those words? Yes, which is extremely important.
To everybody who's watching in the world, what I humbly need you, I go on my knees with humility and humbleness. Know that your healing have been granted, have been given by the divine. Claim it. Own it, feel it, and live it, and say. Some people again say God, Christ consciousness, universe, whoever is up there, angels, claim it and say, I am healed. I am in your name, God, growing my knees, growing my eyes. That's what happened. Because the medical bureau, the documents are still with me. Even when I went back home, because when you are a flight attendant, there are limitations. You can't fly. You can't be just grounded. The doctor back home said, that's it. This is a miracle. How did this happen? In the whole history of eye thingies, central retinal occlusion, the artery exploded fully. How did it come back? That was the miracle. So yes, people, claim the miracle, own it, feel it, and live it, and know it's being given. The negative energy comes, I will not say evil or some way, somehow, it will come. If you so hesitate, people, whoever is watching, if you so hesitate in claiming the healing, it will not happen. So claim the healing.
I love the way that you said claim the healing, because people will ask, I need help, or whereas he already acclaimed and affirmed, and so you were more open to receive that. You was coming from a higher vibration of knowing that it was coming in.
And that it's done.
And that it's done. So did you just ask the once? Did you just ask once?
I kept claiming.
Or you just kept claiming for 1 month?
Every day with happiness and a knowing in my heart. I still do the same, by the way. And I still shift people with me, and I became your assertiveness. Hey guys, claim it. So I do shift people with assertiveness when needed. To a certain extent, one day I was on the altar just lighting a candle. Again, just lighting a candle. I saw that white piece of bread, and I had the feeling it's Mama Mary. There is no way, there is no other way. I grabbed that piece of bread and I ate it, and I said, as loud as ever, thank you for the healing. 1 month, whoever is watching, I can send any documentation. It was declared as a full vision back, got my license. And in fact, this year, even though it's a different subject, 2 cats were abused somewhere. 2 broken legs. They're a bit wild. I cannot catch them, but whoever knows me, I know you guys love cats and you feed them.
Yeah.
So I go. The 2 cats, Terry, one of them, the human in me said, she's gonna die. There is no way. The human in me.
Yes.
Then the next day I went down there and I said, in the name of God, you are healed. She's still, by the way, I can take videos of her. The first one, in the name of God, you are healed. That twist, in 2 months, she's running like a monkey. So is the kitten, same identical story, so that I don't the viewers get bored of me. I said, in the name of God, you are healed. You're back. And I said, God, you are the God of miracles. This kitten needs you. I cannot even catch her. She's got you. And I know she's healed. I kept saying it every day, claiming it. The 2, the big one and the small one, they're still living around. And every single day, I give them the food.
So, it's the faith and the energy that it's the faith that holds it, really, that you're not moving in that faith, that you're trusting, that because you've had it with your eye, because you've already experienced it. So you then know it's there because you've had that experience. And I think it's great that you used those words, because I don't think many people use those words.
And they don't, because because what we do is we sometimes, when we pray, we bring a level of fear and becomes a level of need rather than it is done, it's solved, and it's healed, and it's with confidence, and you claim the space. It's extremely important. You have to claim that space to make sure it's done.
And I think also, you see, the earth plane that we are on has, as you know, has many different vibrations. And basically, when you are standing in that light and in that alignment of everything, he's actually been a channel of that energy to come down into whose eye or into a cat, which is from a very high vibration, which can heal anything.
So you're allowing the universe to flow through you and to be able to bring through that energy and claim that light, because we are light.
We are, as long as what I always share with people, ego is our worst enemy as human beings. The second that doctor or nurse or housewife or mommy or healer or practitioners, the second the ego comes in, the divine gift is gone and the angels will not be there. They will only, and I need people to hear that, the angels will be there only for safety, to rescue us, because that's their mission, to safety rescue. But if they want their divine intervention, divine revelation, ego should never ever exist with us.
I think that, as you know, we all have an ego, and it is a part of our personality. But you're right, it's awareness of the ego and awareness of ourselves and awareness how we're reacting and awareness of why these things are going on around us, and awareness to just stop for a minute and go into our heart before moving forward. And I think then it's important for you to then, you're able to hear the guidance that's coming, that's needed. But when we're in that ego state, it's a cutoff to the flow. If it's,
it's a disconnection.
It depends on the way the ego's used. Sometimes, we don't have a personality if we don't have an ego. But for me, it's like it has to be awareness of it. And when it's coming in the wrong way.
Like every day before I open the door, every single day, Buddy, Terry, I say loudly to the angels, I know something nice will happen today. I know
we say
something
that as well,
nice.
By the way.
The one that I use is
share it.
The one that I use is, how can I be of service today?
Yes.
Yeah. Amen to that. Amen. Because Oprah Winfrey, she's my complete idol in life. She says, and I always embrace that, service and significance leads to success. We love service. We are born for service. When we embrace that light that we already are. That's why now I'm honored again to be with you. I'm so touched. You can even feel my high vibration. When we are beings of light with that service intent, all of us together, we can shift the world. We become a significance for that light.
You're
Success is gifted, is given. Success is there. All what we have to do is carry on with the integrity, honesty, and transparency that I always felt with both of you. You've always been so transparent with everybody around the world.
And I think you're right. When you're aligned with the person that's aligned from that energy of wanting to work as a community, to work as one, as light, and when you are connected with the like-minded person, everything flows far more easier. Everything around us opens up. It just flows with ease, and that's when you know you're on the same vibration. And if we all worked that way, life would, like you said, would be a lot easier, and flow a lot easier, I feel.
And the shift, once upon a time, I was way younger, by the way, and I gotta mention this. One of my brothers that I adore all of them, but at a young age, my mom used to be sick a lot at a young age in the Civil War. So I had to cook, clean, being her best friend, and. So this brother became so ambitious in life. I saw in a dream Christ himself, as we see him in the dream, looking at my brother. I was already flying. I woke up from that dream. I said, don't take him, please take me instead. Oh. That's sometimes when fear comes to us, which you mentioned, Buddy, earlier. Same dream came back again within 15 minutes. This time he was smiling. He looked at my brother. I can't mention the name because of the privacy. Next day, his life changed within 1 week forever, and he kept getting higher and higher and higher and higher as we speak. Doors opened. Angels intervened, consciousness, people everywhere. That was the most important shift in my life that on that day, I was probably maybe 35-ish or so. That was the day I said, I give myself to the divine, guide me, show me, lead me, and I'm there, that vessel. That's when it led me in future to Kamal becoming Chamuel of Light.
And was you praying for your brother, or did your brother pray for himself?
A lot, because remember the visions that I used to see, even himself in the car accident. I saw him once at a younger age. I saw him flipping. It happened in reality. Right. Mama Mary was giving water. In the same second, 7th floor, the elevator fell with all of them. All of them. My whole family in the car, including me. Fatal accident, not a scratch except Dad. Like, I can go on forever. We are miracles. We are to appreciate them because all what we have to do is share them. So yes,
I agree. Sharing them for people to remember and for people to ask and for people to see them instead of be caught up in daily lives and maybe missing that moment. And that was the whole point of doing this podcast.
Correct. So would you say that what's helping you every single day is that connection with Source? It's prayer. It's making sure that you believe that it's done and it's happening. That everything is working out for your highest and best interest.
Yes, faith can move mountains. With our words, we can change the whole vibrational frequency with the house. Because I remember both of you love to clear spaces for people to live in. So with our words, we can have mountains move in the name of Source, God, the Source. So faith, liberation, that I know I am capable of shifting me and others in a humble way, and clarity that I'm going on the right path. The fear will come. I have to be honest. Sometimes it comes, I'm a human being. When I'm dealing with something larger than me, I acknowledge that fear, and that's an honest statement. And I say, you're not going to take me there again. So I command that fear to go away. And with our words, faith and determination, like, how can I become better? What is there else for me to learn? People, Buddy, Terry, use what if, for example. What if for failure? I always repeat before I sleep. What if I become successful? What if I meet the kindest people in the world? What if the whole world is back to love and light? Before we even know, when we do wake up, our subconscious mind which is 95% is conditioned. The 5% is us right now. Right. Subconscious mind wakes up with a vibrational frequency. I mean, the structure and strategy, that's probably how I found both of you in the first place. Because every night when I sleep, I set the intention. And when it comes to emotions and logic, that's something I learned and I would love to share. Emotions always wins. When we use those emotions to direct the mind and tell the subconscious mind days go by, and I've seen both of you doing that, by the way. You tell the subconscious mind at a time, you work for me, I do not work for you. Correct. You shift the fear, you shift everything, and you move on in life.
You're right, it's about shifting the energy. And, you know, when you go into a place, like you said, to clear it or to align it, or the, you know, it's like when people always come into our house, and the same in Dubai, it didn't matter what house. And now in Los Angeles, where we are, they used to say, your house is so calm and peaceful. And well, that's the intent that you set. That's the power that you have. That's the energy that we carry. Like you said, it can shift anything. As he mentioned, that Jesus is known for that reason, that he shifted. He was the miracle man. He was the miracle worker through him allowing the energy of the divine to flow through him as that wave of energy to become. We're not actually the miracle people. We're just allowing it to flow through us to shift that energy.
This very podcast is a gift for the divine, the source.
It was very interesting, because I'm going to quickly share that. I don't think we've shared it before, have we?
Okay.
I'd stuck a angel card on my vision board a year before with a picture of Jesus, and it got underneath miracle. And
amen.
And I don't know why I stuck it on the vision board, actually. You know, I could have stuck any other angels or
your subconscious mind.
Yeah. And I stuck it there for a year, and then it came in about the magic of miracles. And I was just thinking, I wonder how this all started. And one day I was meditating in our room that we're in now, and I remember looking over at the board and hearing the intention was there because you put Jesus on your vision board with the word miracle underneath. And so again, that it might have been born a year later, but I didn't know starting out why I put that picture specifically on there. And it just comes through now with the podcast and the YouTube that we're doing.
It's fascinating because it's when you claim the energy and we claim that space.
But it was from innocence. I did it from innocence. I didn't do it from, I'm going to do a podcast.
It wasn't coming in that way at all.
Why I put it on there. I just liked it. And there was something beautiful from the energy of this card that I placed it on there.
In fact, what happened last year in June, in Michael's birthday, we went into a painting shop, and myself and Terry were standing outside the painting shop, and we were like, okay, and Michael just ran in, and I was like, okay, we're waiting. And he says to Terry, Mom, come see. And Terry's like, no, come on. I was like, we need to move. She said, no, Mom, come see. And she went in, and I thought, okay, let me go in as well. The most beautiful art painting shop that I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Yeah.
In fact, there was a picture that we saw on there, and Terry did a meditation that morning
with the group
online, and we were talking to this man on the painting shop, and he was describing this picture that we were staring at
that his mother had painted,
which was the meditation that Terry did that morning.
Wow.
So it was the meditation that I channeled that morning. And then when he told me the story of how his mother got it in his dream, this painting of Jesus in the clouds, in the painting. And I just was like, oh my God. And, it was Michael that connected us to go in that shop. I wasn't going to go in the shop. And we bought the print and we placed it in our house above our fireplace. And it's just every time you enter our house, you are greeted by, very delicately, I will share the image with you, Jesus embedded in the clouds with the sea beneath, and asking everyone to come into the light and overview him by the light. So again, it was the same as we started off with the card a year ago, and then so many months later, 6 or 7 months later, it was the painting that ended up in our house. And then we ended up gradually with these podcasts, which we all know is Jesus was known as the miracle man, really.
Yeah, because what people don't even know, probably they know by now, your Michael is a miracle. Bless his heart. He's such a miracle, and the whole world probably knows by now. He's been chosen to come on earth. It was not a coincidence. He was attuned, channeled, sent to both of you for a bigger mission, for a
100%.
bigger... Yeah, like people probably sometimes you are humble to share it, but it's my chance to share with the world. Your Michael is a living miracle for all of you as a triangle. If you say the Holy Trinity or whatever it is, the divine, the source, you guys are living that miracle. Even yesterday, Terry, buddy, in the meditation that in that activity every month we do, something told me, do the cherry blossom meditation. You will never believe this. Like I go there once a month. Like sometimes it's even on Zoom or something told me. Of course, it's always an angel meditation. Always. Guided with the sound healing. So something told me cherry blossom because it's the symbol of renewal, rejuvenation, brand new. And guess what? From the crowd, there was a specific girl from Nagoya. The meditation that came on me with I felt it. She reached out after, hello, this is my city. I don't know what you've done to me. I cannot travel to my country. But now with your meditation, I am in my country. I feel strong. I feel empowered. She can't speak much English, I said, this is my mission. I'm complete because the divine is using all of us daily. And the same community, 2 Russian girls, contacted and said, listen, we don't know what you've done to us. We can just see light around you. We cannot express to you. But they said, we want to enter to your heart. We want to be inside because we know if we are in your heart, we are safe. The shift, like you said, I said, you too can be your own healer. Connect to source and you're done.
Yeah, because that's it. When they say, oh, we don't know what you've done, it's actually, we haven't done anything. We've just allowed it to flow through us. And they have the same gift. You're just reminding them that they have that same gift.
Yeah.
And for it to flow through. And just as Jesus did, we're just allowing it to flow through us at that time. As you said, moving the ego out the way. And for those that may be thinking now, because we've learned from feedback from people, can you explain to people what the cherry blossom meditation is? Because people do pick up on things like that, and then they do ask.
Right. With pleasure. That's where I humbly love to do the meditations. Cherry blossom is about a new beginning, a new start, again, liberation, clarity, removing that baggage, the auric attachment, layers and layers of auric tiredness or emotional suppressed, repressed emotions, escape reality pattern. And they even believe there is a bird, there is a practice called origami. Origami is the art of folding paper. And there is a bird, a sacred bird called the crane with the red crown. So in that meditation, I told the people, guided with the sound healing, you are right now, a girl is approaching you. She's 12 years old. She is approaching you and she wants you to fold the cranes with her. 1,000 crane, it becomes a wish. I'm trying to be quick. A wish comes true. You are now liberated. You are strong. You're beautiful. You're abundant. It's your birthright to be happy. Of course, with the angels, Angel Michael, Gabriel, in every journey. So when we talk about cherry blossom, it's the ultimate, infinite, new beginning, releasing all the tension, all the sadness. But again, the people have to have the intention to receive.
Correct. Yeah. Be open. Thank you, darling. Thank you for that.
Pleasure.
At least because people will ask.
Yes.
They do. They email us and we're like, oh yeah, we have to cover those things when they're asking.
It's regeneration, clarity, clearing your aura, your heart. Because again, I'm humbly sharing, which you know already a million times before. We are soul, spirit, mind, and body, and we have to integrate those. Cherry blossom. Yeah.
Cherry blossom. Love it.
Yeah.
The cherry blossoms are in my children's books, actually. Yeah, their children choose trees from the magical garden, and the cherry blossom is one of them, which a lot of the children do.
I remember that actually now that you mentioned. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Chamuel. It was a real pleasure talking to you.
And it's great that they share all these different stories and the angels and miracles and magical moments, and that you've experienced one yourself with your eyesight. And it's lovely to see you. And
it's my honor, and I humble.
How your life has changed.
Yeah,
your life has changed completely compared to when you met Terry the first time. But it's because you were ready for that, and you're ready to change things.
But also, he was disciplined.
And you were disciplined because it does take practice every single day. Do your meditation, do your prayer, and make sure you're quite disciplined. And it helps you throughout the entire day.
Throughout any process, throughout any situation, it's discipline. And
full on.
We're all at fault. Sometimes we're not as disciplined. We're all the same. But it is as much as possible to catch yourself and to be disciplined and to know when you're.
And what I want to humbly share with the world before I want to go with you forever, but we cannot. I want to humbly ask the whole world: do not shy away from your light. Have that confidence, build it, and know that you are a being of light. And when you enter that room, set the intention to be that light that shifts people into a higher realm, grounded on earth in the power of now.
Yes, I agree. Well, thank you, darling. We're going to leave you on that because that was a fantastic ending. And thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
Feel free to contact us at the Magic of Miracle Podcast. If you'd like to get in contact with us, please feel free at info@themagicmiracle.podcast.com. That's info@themagicmiracle.podcast.com. I say thank you for joining us today, and thank you, Chamuel. Really appreciate it.
And anybody who wants to contact me with you at Chamuel of Light, both Face and Insta at Chamuel of Light.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.